Good morning, students. In the last lecture, we find out the moment of inertia for the different regular shaped bodies about different axes of rotation. Today, we are going to see the last topic of this chapter. It is nothing but the conservation of momentum. It is the conservation of linear momentum as well as the conservation of angular momentum. But before that, we are going to see a very important term in this rotational motion, which is nothing but the radius of gyration, and then we will continue the conservation of momentum. Okay, so first we see what is radius of gyration. Radius of gyration means it is the distance between the axis of rotation and a point at which whole mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated. Such distance is called as the radius of gyration. Okay, so for example, consider this is a body which is rotating about a given axis. So consider a point here at which the whole mass of this body is concentrated, which is nothing but the center of mass of the body, at which the whole mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated. Then the distance of this axis of rotation from this point is called as the radius of gyration of that body about the axis. So, what is radius of gyration? This radius of gyration is nothing but the distance between the axis of rotation and the point at which whole mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated. It is called as the radius of gyration. It is denoted by a letter K. It is denoted by a letter K. And if the distance of this point from this axis of rotation is k, in this case the moment of inertia I is equal to mk square. Therefore, we can write this k is equal to under root I by m. So, as the moment of inertia changes, its radius of gyration also changes. So, as we see the moment of inertia of different bodies about different axis of rotation, in the same way we can find out the radius of gyration of the body about the different axis of rotation. So, this is about the radius of gyration. So, what is the unit of this radius of gyration? Unit of radius of gyration is meter, as it is a radius. As it is a radius means it is a distance between the 2 points, this center of mass and this axis of rotation. So the unit of this radius of gyration is meter, or in the CGS unit is equal to centimeter. So by using this formula we can find out the radius of gyration of the different bodies about the different axis of rotation. Now we are moving towards the conservation of momentum. So what is the conservation of momentum? Conservation of momentum means if either there is no external force acting on a bodies, if no external force acting on a bodies, the momentum remains conserved. As we see the conservation of energy, which state that energy neither be created nor be destroyed, it remains constant, it changes from one form to another form. In the same manner, we can say that if there is no external force, the momentum of the body of the two bodies remains conserved. Okay, so what is the statement? The statement of this momentum is, first of all we see the conservation of linear momentum. Conservation of linear momentum. So what is the conservation of linear momentum? It state that in the absence of any external force, or if no external force is applied to the body, the momentum of the system remains conserved. So according to the Newton's second law, we know that the force is nothing but the rate of change of momentum with respect to time. What is force? Force is equal to rate of change of linear momentum with respect to time. So if we already state that in the case of conservation of momentum, if there is no external force, if no external force, so we can write this F is equal to 0. So this is dp by dt, rate of change of momentum, it is equal to 0. It means this momentum P is equal to constant. What is P? What is P? P is nothing but the linear momentum. So when there is no external force acting on a body, on a system, the momentum of the system remains conserved. We know that what is P is equal to? This P is equal to the product of mass multiplied by velocity. Okay, so we can write, if P is equal to constant, so we can write here m1 v1 is equal to m2 v2, which is equal to constant. So this is nothing but the conservation of linear momentum. Now we are moving towards the conservation of angular momentum. Conservation of angular momentum. When the body performs rotational motion, it possesses the angular momentum. This linear momentum possessed by the body when the body is in a linear motion or in a translational motion. But in the case of rotational motion, it possesses the angular momentum. As we say that in the case of conservation of linear momentum, the force remains constant. In the case of angular momentum, we can say that what is torque equal to? What is torque equal to? This torque is nothing but the combination of two forces separated by finite distance. What is torque? Torque is nothing but the product of force multiplied by perpendicular distance. Or we can also say that in the same way this F is replaced by torque, similarly this linear momentum is replaced by angular momentum, which is equal to L. So it is tau is equal to dL by dt. If there is no external torque acting on a body, the angular momentum remains conserved. So in this case, if we put torque equal to 0, then we can say that this dL by dt, rate of change of angular momentum, is equal to 0. It means this L is equal to constant. So when this L remains constant, this angular momentum remains constant when there is no external torque acting on the body. Okay, so what is L is equal to? As we write this linear momentum, P is equal to mass multiplied by velocity. In the case of angular, we can write this L is equal to I multiplied by omega, where this I is the moment of inertia of the body, and what is omega? This omega is the angular velocity of the body. So we can write here this I1 omega 1 is equal to I2 omega 2, which is remains always constant. The product of these two terms always remains constant. Okay, so this is the conservation of angular momentum. Before that, we see the radius of gyration. What is the formula for the radius of gyration? Then we see about the linear momentum, conservation of linear momentum, and finally we learn about the conservation of angular momentum. So This is the last part of our second chapter about the rotational motion. So here your second chapter is end, and we are going to start a new chapter, third chapter, which is about the simple harmonic motion in the next lecture. So this is enough for today. Have a good day. Bye.